Hi everyone, I'm Anna. I'm the founder of Kindred, and welcome to our next episode of Kindred Conversations, where I talk to entrepreneurs, founders, business leaders about their business that is driven by more than just money, it's driven by purpose as well. Today we're joined by Sallar, who has just launched Omami, which is an organic baby food subscription service. Sallar, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thank you very much for having me on.
Yeah, of course. So you've been working hard on your new startup, Omami, which is organic baby food subscription. I think I've got that right. So correct me if I'm wrong. Which you've just launched this month. So tell me about you as an entrepreneur. What's been your journey leading up to this point, and why baby food?
I mean, sometimes I ask myself, but it's the most obvious thing. We had a baby on the way, and that changed our whole sort of like thought process behind what we wanted to do next with our lives. My journey up until this point, I've always worked in industries where I've probably been the least knowledgeable person in my team and had to work my way up. And in industries like construction, I don't have an engineering background. In telecoms, I had nothing to do with telecoms. I left uni early and sort of like fought my way and learned my way through everything that I did. And this has been no different. I mean, to leave a sort of like a stable background that I had behind, come and start to start Omami, I knew that I was going to be up against, but I find like quite a nice challenge in that. And this one really, I guess, drove me more than anything else I've ever done, because there is really a purpose to it. When we were pregnant, and I say we, it was my wife who did all the hard work, but when we were pregnant with our child, we were in the middle of moving countries and coming to settle back in the UK. And we understood that, we'd both have to be sort of like working full time again. And that, we knew we wouldn't have the time to cook every single day for our kid. And that was something important to us. We both had that growing up. We had a lot of home cooked food, but today's world's a bit different. And we started to just, see what was on the market, and I wasn't too happy with what I did see. I never had a reason to go into the baby aisles, but when we started picking up a few of these sort of like, squeeze pouches and seeing what was in them, I knew that there was something that needed to sort of be improved, and that's why we thought of developing the Omami product. And it's been a hard journey. It's been a lot of learning, big learning curves, a lot of mistakes along the way, but that's how you learn, and that's how you become stronger at anything you do.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell me, what makes or what will make people excited about Omami beyond other baby food brands?
Sure. I mean, we're a baby food brand that I like to say is baby food done the right way. We know that parents are really busy nowadays, and the convenience options that they have, while some are championing organic ingredients, we applaud that. Even, many of the commercial brands often use preservatives, high heat processes, which basically denatures the texture, the taste, the color of the food, and most importantly, the nutrition in that food. In those early years, it's now touted as one of the most important development cycles of a human's life. And the brain develops up to 80% in the first 3 years. And 60% of that sort of like growth and development of the brain comes from, the food that you eat, the nutrition in your body. And so it's all about giving our children the best that we can give them, and to sort of like help support them develop in the best way possible. Our food doesn't go through any high heat processes. We pasteurize our food to make sure it's safe for babies, which is important. But that pasteurization process is a cold pressure process that keeps the nutrients intact. It keeps the texture there, the color. So you're giving them real food. If you put ours food next to a pouch of sort of store-bought baby food, you can see the difference immediately. It looks like real food. It's got the same color. It's not mush, and that helps babies develop a taste for those kinds of foods later in life, which is another big issue that we have here in the UK. We need our kids to start eating healthy, and we do that by starting them off well very early on in life and getting them accustomed to vegetable taste, to just good foods.
Brilliant. I mean, there's definitely a movement, isn't there, for moving away from the quick and easy shop and just getting what's quick and cheap and convenient, and is moving away to, people seem to have a bit more care about, what they give their children, especially. And there's this movement towards practice of cooking fresh food with the family. The baby eats what the adults eat, but in a different kind of form. So moving on from that, though, just you as an entrepreneur, there is often a tension, isn't there, between those who are driven by more than just profit, between their values of the higher social purpose of the business and the need to make enough money for the model to work. So have you ever experienced like this tension with Omami, and how do you manage that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's look, before going into this, my initial my initial worry was, are we going to be able to compete with what's on the market? Where you have these sort of like watered down, squeeze pouches for £1. But through the journey, I realized that that's not what I want to do. I mean, sometimes I think you have to understand that not every product is going to be for every person. And there are people like myself who are extremely concerned about what they put in their bodies, what they put in their babies' bodies. And those are the people, those are my customers, and those are the people that I want to make products for. So yes, it's a hard, it's a thin line. Like I want to give my customers sort of the best value for the product. But at the same time, what I'm putting into the product, is much greater than you find in other products. So I want people to sort of, to trust us. I think that's what's been lost along the way. A lot of companies promise things that they don't deliver. I really want to build that trust with our customers. And it's like I said, it's not going to be for anyone, but those customers that do want our product, we want to develop more and more things for them as we go along. And that's really like the focus of everything that I've, sort of like come to learn on this journey. And I think if you stick to your ethos and your values, I don't think there's enough space in the world anymore for another Nestle. And if I was reading a report the other day for instance, on beers. The top 10 beers, yes, you have the big guys in there like Heineken, Budweiser, but the number one is all of the rest, which is all the artisan producers. So we can all have a piece of that market, and because we're producing things that people want and love, and that's really my ethos behind the brand. We do want as many people to have the opportunity to feed their kids better, and we are working on that. And that's something that's at the forefront of our mind. But and a startup always has to work in stages. So in order to get down to sort of like a price point which might be more comfortable for more people, we have to grow. But that won't ever change our values and our ethos behind the brand.
Mm. I noticed on your website, I thought you handled it really well about your packaging. Yeah. And, I mean, when we're talking about, businesses with purpose, what we're not saying is businesses that are perfect and are doing everything, are championing every cause and being perfect in everything and totally sustainable and totally this. And I really liked how you sort of, very transparently said, look, like actually the process that the food goes through has to be in plastic. We're looking for alternatives. Please contact me if you know of any. And I thought that was such a lovely way of doing that. I mean, like, how important is that to you in terms of that honest transparency? And do you think it hinders or actually helps you?
No, I think it's so important, especially with our category, baby foods. I mean, I as a parent wouldn't go and feed my kid anything or buy him a product that I don't know is good for him. I think we're much more socially aware and environmentally aware of what we're doing to our planet. So I think trust. My wife and I, when we started this, we wrote down our values, and we have that written on our apartment wall. We have that written in our manufacturing unit, and so we can always remind ourselves that that's what we came into this for. And I think transparency is a huge part of the process. Like you said, we're not perfect. We're a startup who wants to do well. Everything that we can do along the journey to make our product better for the environment, better for our customers, we will do. And I think just talking to people like ourselves is really valuable. Letting them know that, okay, this is in our sort of at the forefront of my mind, and we are going to tackle it. But right now our hands are tied. I think more companies need to be transparent, because like I said earlier, people want to know that, you're telling them to trust you, and you need to deliver on that trust. So, be open, share everything, tell them what you're doing, and let them know when you make mistakes. And I think people, they want more of that relationship with the brands that they buy into nowadays.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, you're in the early stages of Omami, and just having launched during this really, really difficult time. So what do you think the next chapter looks like for you as a business? And is there anything that we and anyone who's watching this can do to help you guys?
Sure. I mean, the next chapter for us is, our website's up and running, omami.co.uk. We're servicing orders right now, and we're making sure that we commit to that deadline for the first order to be sent out. And really, it's just spread the word. I mean, I would like to think that any parents out there who are interested and are going through weaning or weaning soon would, if you go and have a read on our website, there's a lot more information there. We'd love you to try our product. And if anyone watching this has any sort of any interest in the matter, drop us a line, hello@omami.co.uk, and I'll be glad to talk a lot more with you about the product and what we do.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Sallar. Well, I'm very much looking forward to having you back at Kindred when we're reopen, and to see the progress that Omami makes. I think you're absolutely onto a winner. It's really, really exciting to see. So congrats.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Anna. Take care and good luck, and we'll see you soon.
You too. Thank you, Sallar.